93%. That is just a massive number. But according to recent industry analysis, 93% of government contracting firms are completely invisible to contracting officers online. I mean, think about that for a second. You could literally have the most capable firm in the entire country, but if you fall into that 93%, you are virtually non-existent when it comes to federal procurement research.
Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to fix exactly that. We're tackling a pretty high-stakes topic today, the modern government capability statement. We're going to look at how to transform what, let's be honest, for many companies is just a dated, static brochure into a revenue-generating, highly visible digital asset. If you're operating in the GovCon space, this is the foundational tool you absolutely need to get right.
Here's our playbook for today's Explainer. We're starting with the 10-second test, diving deep into the 6 essential sections you need, highlighting 5 credibility killers, and finishing up with the modern SEO stack and print versus digital strategies. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. The 10-second test.
So, under the Federal Acquisition Regulation, specifically FAR Part 10, contracting officers have to conduct market research before they issue any solicitations. And during this phase, they're looking at dozens, sometimes hundreds of firms. They do not have time to read a novel. They're going to give your capability statement a ruthless 10-second test to see if you even belong in the conversation. As our source material perfectly puts it, a capability statement is your company's resume for government work. It's your first impression. Whether you're looking to become a prime contractor, seeking subcontracts, or going after small business set-asides, this document is an absolute, non-negotiable requirement. If you don't have one, or if you're still using some generic Word document from 10 years ago, you are actively losing contracts to competitors who just look more professional.
All right, Section 2, the 6 essential sections.
So how do you actually pass that initial 10-second screen? Well, it all comes down to a very specific 6-section architecture. This is the exact anatomy of a winning capability statement. It needs to fit on 1 or 2 pages, maximum. No more than that. The real estate is super tight, so every single word has to earn its place. We're going to break down the strategic intent behind each of these 6 elements: overview, core competencies, past performance, differentiators, company data, and contact info.
Section 1 is your company overview. Now, this needs to be a punchy 2 to 3 sentence elevator pitch. Listen, contracting officers absolutely do not want a novel about your company's founding history or your overarching philosophy. They just need a hyper-focused overview. For example, tell them right out of the gate if you're an SBA-certified 8A firm specializing in cybersecurity infrastructure. Tell them exactly who you are, your socioeconomic status, and what you do. Boom. Done.
Next up, Section 2 covers your core competencies. This is where you list your primary capabilities, and the golden rule here is do not be vague. Your competencies must be exact bullet points tied directly to specific NISCS classifications. So instead of just saying something generic like IT services, you need to write something precise like IT infrastructure modernization -NISCS 541512. This lets the contracting officer instantly align your skills with their exact procurement needs.
Section 3 covers past performance. And guys, this is what really separates the serious contractors from the amateurs. You have to prove a track record of executed work. List 2 to 3 specific contracts you've actually completed. You got to include the agency or client name, the contract value, the period of performance, and a really brief description. And hey, if you don't have federal past performance yet, that is totally fine. Just list your commercial work or your subcontracts to prove you can actually deliver.
Moving right along to Section 4, differentiators. This is where you clearly outline your competitive moat. You have to ask yourself, what truly makes your firm unique in a sea of thousands of other contractors? Do you have specific certifications like CMMC or ISO? Do you hold specific security clearances? Or maybe you use some sort of a proprietary framework? Whatever it is, you have to spell out exactly why they should choose you over the competition.
All right, Section 5 is your company data. This includes your CAGE code, your unique entity identifier or UEI, your primary and secondary NAICS codes, socioeconomic certifications, and any active contract vehicles like a GSA schedule. So the absolute crucial point here is this. While this data is purely transactional and frankly might seem a little boring, a contracting officer literally cannot process an award without it. It has to be highly visible and it has to be perfectly accurate.
Finally, Section 6, contact information. You need the point of contact's name, their title, phone number, website URL, physical address, and a professional domain email.
A clean physical address and a professional email are absolutely essential for building foundational trust. If you're putting a Gmail or Yahoo address on your capability statement, you are immediately signaling that you're not a professional enterprise. Please do not let a free email address cost you a $10 million contract.
Section 3. 5 Credibility Killers. So, we've covered the winning architecture. Now let's talk about what not to do. We're going to rapidly outline the lethal mistakes that will get your capability statement thrown straight in the trash during that 10-second test. Here are the 5 massive pitfalls you need to avoid. Number 1, using a generic one-size-fits-all document instead of actually tailoring it to the specific agency. Number 2, no past performance. A blank section just screams, "We have no experience." Number 3, missing CAGE or UEI data, which halts the award process instantly. Number 4 is a wall of text. Seriously, nobody reads giant, unreadable blocks of text. Use bullet points and clean design. And finally, number 5, outdated information. If your copyright date says 2019, the reader immediately assumes the whole document, and maybe even your entire company, is just stale and outdated.
Section 4. The modern SEO stack.
Okay, here's the reality check. Having a perfectly designed 6-section document is completely useless if the contracting officers can't actually find it when they're doing their market research. There is a massive contrast between the legacy mindset and the reality of GovCon in 2026. The old mindset relies purely on relationships, expensive conferences, and a static, totally ignored brochure website. But modern procurement officials, they behave like everyone else today. They essentially just Google it. Their modern research stack includes searching sam.gov, sure, but then they immediately jump over to Google to validate capabilities, they check LinkedIn for your leadership team, and they use tools like GovWin.
And this brilliantly illustrates the secret weapon of GovCon's search engine optimization. NAIS codes are literally searchable keywords. Procurement professionals are actually typing 541512 Computer Systems Design Services or Cybersecurity Contractor 8A Certified directly into Google. If you optimize your digital presence for these specific capability and NAIS combinations, you're going to align perfectly with exactly what contracting officers are searching for.
To truly dominate your sector digitally, your content has to establish EEAT, experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. This is exactly how search algorithms evaluate you, and you establish this by publishing your capability statement, your certifications, and deep, insightful content on a secure, fast-loading website. You have to prove you've done the work. You showcase deep expertise well beyond just basic tips. You display your credentials, and you provide secure, trustworthy contact information.
Section 5. Print versus digital. Now, mastering digital distribution doesn't mean you can just eliminate physical media. You absolutely need both. You still need a high-quality printed version for PTech events, industry days, and those critical face-to-face meetings. However, your digital version serves as your 24/7 business development tool. It should live right on your website as a downloadable PDF. But here is a really vital tip. That digital PDF must be properly named with your keywords. Something like your company cybersecurity capability statement.pdf. Doing that ensures it appears directly in search results, building trust before the officer even visits your main site.
The real beauty of a strong digital footprint and SEO strategy is that it's basically the only business development channel that truly compounds over time. Think about the temporary spikes of expensive conference networking or paid Google ads. The absolute second you stop paying, the visibility just vanishes. But every optimized page, every properly deployed capability statement builds permanent, compounding equity in your digital presence, driving organic visibility for years to come.
So, once you've crafted that perfect 6-section document, here are your final tactical steps for distribution. You need to distribute it widely across all essential government networking channels. Upload it directly to your sam.gov profile. Send it as a clean attachment in your email outreach to small business liaison officers. Post it regularly on your company's LinkedIn page. And honestly, most importantly, feature it prominently and proudly on your website's homepage.
I want to leave you with a final, provocative question to think about regarding your current digital readiness. When a federal contracting officer sits down at their desk today, opens up Google, and searches for your specific NAICS code, whose capability statement are they actually reading? Is it yours or your competitors? It's time to execute this 6-section framework and make sure they find you. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.